My boyfriend went on vacation with his female best friend, without me. Let me tell you a story about how I learned, the hard way, that love alone is not enough. My boyfriend and I had been together for 9 months. He's 29, I'm 28, and we were serious, talking about moving in together, building a future. This summer, we were supposed to go on a trip. Hawaii. A friend of his mom had a house there, and we planned to go, me, him, and his 2 best friends. One of them being his longtime female best friend, also 29. But then, one of the friends dropped out. Suddenly, it was just going to be the 3 of us, me, my boyfriend, and his best friend. And that's when everything changed. His friend told him she didn't feel comfortable going if I was coming, because she didn't know me well and didn't want to be a third wheel. She gave him an ultimatum, either I go or she does. And instead of talking to me about it or finding a solution, my boyfriend just changed the plan, quietly. No conversation, no heads up. He and his friend booked a completely different trip, just the 2 of them, to Costa Rica. Meanwhile, I was trying to figure out when to take time off work. I asked him what week we'd go. That's when he casually dropped it. Oh, I'm going to Costa Rica with her. She doesn't want to go if you're coming. I was stunned. He did say, maybe you and I can go to Mexico later, as if that made it better. I told him how hurt I was, how excluded I felt. In response, he offered a makeup trip to Copenhagen, a place we'd both wanted to visit. It felt like a Band-Aid over a bullet wound. I also asked to finally meet this best friend of his, to ease my mind. So on July 4th, we went to visit her and her boyfriend. It was cold. She was clearly unfriendly, even my boyfriend noticed. He said she was distant toward both of us. I tried to connect, made conversation with her and her boyfriend, but nothing worked, and I usually get along with people. To make things even more uncomfortable, she and her boyfriend were bickering. Apparently, he was upset that she was going on this 3-week trip without him, with my boyfriend. After that visit, I told my boyfriend that I still felt uneasy, still hurt by how everything unfolded. I asked him to help me feel secure again, to show me I mattered. Even his family was shocked when they heard about the trip. They said if they were in my place, they'd be furious. Another fight followed. I asked again, what can we do to rebuild trust? He promised not to ever do something like this again. But his words felt empty. He vaguely offered to cancel the trip, but the flights and hotels were already paid for. And honestly, I didn't want to make things worse by forcing him or her to cancel. He asked me to come up with a way to feel better, but he dragged his feet. Right up until the day of his flight, he did nothing. On the morning he left, he handed me a little bag of candy, and I drove them both to the airport. I felt hollow. I wanted to break up with him right then, but part of me still hoped. I didn't want to throw away a relationship that was good in so many other ways. Update: 9 days later. When I dropped him off at the airport, I was completely drained. He messaged me later, but I didn't respond. The next day, I sent him a message. I told him I didn't feel safe or loved. I said I'd be dropping off his things at his place and giving the keys to his neighbor. He called. I didn't answer. He texted every day. I couldn't bring myself to respond. By Thursday, it must have hit him that I was serious. He started texting logistical stuff. When he got back and saw his things at home, he panicked. He left a long voicemail. I still didn't respond. Eventually, I messaged him again. I told him it was over, clearly, firmly. He got angry, flooded me with messages, said I was destroying everything without giving him a chance to understand. Left a voice message saying he didn't accept the breakup and demanded I talk to him in person. I wasn't going to respond, but his words hurt. So I tried to call. I broke down crying. I told him I'd send a letter instead. Here's what I wrote. This time apart gave me clarity. I realized we shouldn't be together. I'm sorry for asking you to change parts of your life that you shouldn't have to change for anyone. But from the start, this trip was deeply disrespectful. Your friend gave you an ultimatum, her or me, and you chose her. You didn't try to introduce us. You didn't talk to me. You didn't push back. You were booking flights while I was making dinner for our guests. You sat in the room texting with her for over an hour. I asked you to join us. You said, just a few more minutes. When we finally met her and her boyfriend, they were cold and distant. She even bragged about messaging your friend while he was still in another relationship and ending up with him. You told me their relationship was chaotic. You hinted you'd once had feelings for her. That whole situation has always felt murky and unsettling. You didn't honor my feelings. If you had really loved me, you would have found another way. I didn't know what to do. The only option that made sense was to wait it out or leave. She arrived at my place late that night. And the next morning, I drove both of you to the airport. After all of that, you saw how heartbroken I was. And when I didn't reply to your text, you just said, "Hope you're okay," and went to sleep. The rest of that week was awful. When I finally messaged you, your response was, "I'm sorry you feel that way." You said I was being unfair. You still don't see why a romantic honeymoon-style trip with her, after everything, was outrageous. You still think my reaction is the only problem. The truth is, my emotional needs were ignored so badly, something inside me broke. We had beautiful moments, but also too much pain. I can't be okay with your friendship with her. Maybe I could have said it's her or me, but I won't. I want you to keep your best friend, and I want to walk away. I really loved you, but I'm not going to fight this fight forever. I'm tired of being told I'm crazy just because I don't believe it's all platonic. I'm not okay in this relationship. I don't want to feel this way anymore, and I don't need your permission to leave. He eventually sent me an apology. He took responsibility for nearly everything, except one thing. He still refused to admit that his relationship with her could make me feel uncomfortable. He insisted the real issue was my perspective, not his actions. I told him, trust has to be built, and he put too much weight on something fragile. He agreed. He apologized again, and that was the end. Peaceful, but final. This kind of relationship just isn't for me, and no apology can change that. Thank you. Subscribe for more stories.